Hi, Kukla here, and I am, as I said, with my other movie and game reviews. I'm trying to keep them paired up. So, so I am now on to a game review, and the game that I'm going to be reviewing today is right there, Doom 64 for the Nintendo 64. Now, if you're a fan of first-person shooters, FPSs, you have heard of Doom in one form or another. Doom was the one who brought a lot of attention to the first person shooter genre. There were other first person shooters before Doom, but Doom was the one that pretty much cemented it into the standard video game libraries of everybody, and everybody has their own personal first person shooters that they like. Right now, the big one is the Halo series and stuff. But you have to remember, games like Halo and other good first person shooters out there would not have uh, gotten to where they are today if it wasn't on the back, if it wasn't for coming along on the back of Doom. And okay, and Doom is produced by id Software. In this case, they're working with Midway when they released this. And I've seen some people to where until Doom 3 came out was actually calling Doom 64 Doom 3, which is actually pretty accurate because Doom 3 was more like a reboot slash retelling of Doom, in my opinion. Main reason why is they actually brought in characters, gave them names, things like that, as to where with Doom and the Doom series up to Doom 64, it was a nameless space marine, and they did a really good job, like I said, with it because it was just basically it's a first person shooter, work your way through it, you know, and try not to die because you got so much crap coming your way from zombies with guns to imps, demons, up to the Barons of Hell, Spider Masterminds, the Cyber Demon. The Cyber Demon in Doom 64 is just gorgeous to look at. Because everything in Doom 64, see, one of the big problems that they had with, in my opinion, with Doom and Doom 2 was that the graphics at the time, you could only do so much with them. So when things in a distance in terms of the first person shooter aspect of it, they they looked decent from a distance, but once they got up, they started pixelating really bad. Doom 64 went with rendered graphics. So things look very smoothly, everything's very detailed, even when it gets in close. And it does what only a few of the other ports for like Doom and Doom 2 could do, where it actually shows that the monsters walk around and they turn. You can see them from the side, see their back. Um, Also, that they'll fight each other. I mean, which is a nice little touch there, and it really helped you out a lot in the game. You know, and graphic wise, it was still, like I said, it was a huge step up from the original Doom engine. It's still the Doom engine, but like I said, it's done with some really, really nice rendering, and still looks pretty good today compared to, like I said, a lot of the big first-person shooters out there now. It was much more simplistic. The controls were very smooth. There's would seem to be a lot that you have to get used to because there's separate buttons for cycling through your weapons, two different mini maps to go through for in terms of like your auto map. You have the standard map, which is just lines, and then there was a textured map, which is actually a lot harder to read. So stick with the standard map. And the character moved very smoothly. You could use the normal controls, which was just on the control pad, or you could use the analog stick on the N64 controller to,,, move the character around, and the analog stick was actually probably a lot better bet to use. and stuff because the Z button on the controller fired for you. So if you just were holding on to it and stuff, it actually kind of gave you this weird little feel like you were holding a gun and stuff, which was very important in the game because although they didn't have all the classic animations of what you were used to with the Doom series up till then, because in the original ones they had like if your character had the shotgun out, he would every time he fired it would show him lift the gun up and chamber a new round in. Doom 64 doesn't do that. You do hear the gun, you do hear when he uses the pump slide on the shotgun, but it doesn't show a shell eject. It doesn't show him lift it up and chamber in a new round. Things like that. It just shows the gun in front of you and it going off. And certain guns, like I said, they have more animation to them and stuff. Like the pistol has a little bit of kick going for it. The chain gun, the barrel rotates. It looks a little bit nicer. The chainsaw was the biggest weapon change that they actually had. You get a dual-bladed chainsaw in Doom 64, which was a nice little touch. I really like that. But it was still the chainsaw. It didn't do anything more or less because of it having two blades. And like I said, it was bringing new levels and actually getting away from some of the silly feel that Doom 2 brought in because Doom 2 had more playful music and some of the things I was going for was just a little bit sillier. There was still, the gore and violence which everybody made a big fuss about and whatnot, but it just Doom 2 seemed more playful as to where Doom 64 just basically takes that whole sense of humor thing and throws it right out the window. The game is very dark. All the Doom games have been really dark. Doom 64 of the original three, as far as I'm concerned, was probably the darkest of them. I mean, anytime I played it, I had to go in and turn the brightness option up. And you didn't have no flashlight in this, but then again, you also, like some of the things with the controls, you didn't have the look up, look down like you do in Doom 3, because, Doom 3 was just going along with the what people are expecting out of a first-person shooter. So you can look up, look down, things like that. Doom 64 did not have that. Doom 64 was if you can see it, you can shoot it. Pure and simple. So you didn't have to worry about that. I mean, you were more worried about trying to clear the level and finding all the things. I mean, because there's plenty of secrets to find in the game. I mean, there's even 3 hidden levels that you need to go through these other hidden levels to get to. I mean, the game has something like, I think, close to 40 levels in total in it, which is a lot for a first-person shooter. And it is definitely, like I said, for a first-person shooter, it was great. And this one, like I said, it was really, really big with a lot of their games of bringing atmosphere in. And they do that beautifully, like I said, with like the darkness. Although you will have to probably turn the brightness up because it starts out too dark, really, in my opinion. Turn the brightness up, and even then, it's still really, really dark. And plus, they also have a lot of enemies that play around with that whole light thing because they're transparent or almost invisible in some points. Things hiding behind you and all sorts of things. And then when combined with the music on certain levels, they have some to where the music is, a little bit more lighthearted than what you expect, but it's still pretty serious. To some to where, like, if you do like any true Doom enthusiast would say, you play it in the dark. Some of the music is just utterly creepy. They have, I believe it's stage 12 in Doom 64 to where part of the background music is babies wailing. And it does not help with the imagery that the game brings forth of, heads on spikes and bodies hanging off of hooks. And so, I mean, it's a pretty gruesome game in its own right. I was really surprised that it showed up on the N64 because at the time, Nintendo was still protecting their family-friendly image. And then to bring a game like Doom 64 in, I was almost expecting them to say it's like, yes, this is on the Nintendo 64, but this is for mature players only. So, but in terms of if you should get this game or not, like I said, if you're a fan of first-person shooters and you want to see where they've come from, and you got a Nintendo 64, pick it up. It's really cheap now. You should be able to pick it up for less than $10 easily. And it's definitely worth your time. If you've got a save pack for it, you'll probably want to use it, but it'll only save the first 18 levels, and then you have to get a new pack. So be prepared to write some codes down, because you will be given some, like, good 16-digit codes. But overall, like I said, it's definitely worth it. I like how they ended it. It was a nice end to the original series of Doom, because like I said, Doom 3 is basically just a reboot of the franchise. So, but it's definitely worth it, and it will definitely hold your attention and keep you busy for a while. So, anyhow, that's my review. It's Kutha, and I will see you guys later.